What's up, folks? Sean the Average Angler back at you with another video. This time we're doing a review, and this is a really good one. I've been using this one for a while now, putting it through the test, and I gotta tell you, I'm really impressed with it. Exceeded my expectations, and there's some real highlights that we're gonna go over in the review. Now, I bought this reel to use for my bigger baits, right? Makes sense. That reel is the Shimano Scorpion MD. This is the 24. This is an 8.5 to 1, so fast gear ratio. It's got nice red accents here. And on the tensioner knob, it's a good looking reel, and it's not overly bulky. What I can say is it fits really nice on my swim bait rods. Let's go over the reel. Okay, this is an 8.5 to 1. What I can tell you is I have 20-pound Sunline FC Sniper on it. I use this for my glide baits. The rod it's on is mostly throwing glides in that 2 to 4 ounce range. Okay, mostly 7-8 inch glides. Also, not the ideal reel for it, but I wanted to test it out. Throw some bottom bouncing baits with it, like the Citizen here, some HUDs, that kind of thing. And it's performed really well. And I liked it enough to where I just ordered 2 more. Okay, but they now have the 201 HG, which is a 7.1 to 1. I just ordered 2 of those. That'll do me for my swim bait rods between those and all the other reels I have, but I wanted more of these, and we'll get into why, because I was really impressed with this aspect of it. It is a 200. It's essentially the size of the prior model 150. They got more spool capacity by using a deeper spool. Oddly enough, the weight is a tad lighter, coming in at 7.5 ounces. It's got a single drag washer on it. It's a Shimano drag, okay? There's gonna be a little bit of slippage, but there's plenty of drag there for using either bottom bouncing or glide baits or treble hook baits, whatever you might wanna use it for. There's enough drag and you can lock it down. The brakes, right now, I have the external set to 4. The internal, as you see, again, there's 4. If you go up to the 300, there's 8. I'm kind of turned in the point where I don't really like the bulkier reel. I've been looking for reels that would handle the baits without getting too large. In my opinion, the Scorpion MD's done that for me. It casts bigger baits like a dream. That's what I really got out of this reel, is that I didn't have to throw the bait very hard. A nice lob cast up, at the proper angle, and the bait sailed further than what I would have expected, which means I don't have to try and huck the bait really hard. That's a big deal to me when throwing these bigger baits, because typically when people are backlashing or throwing their baits off, it's because they whipped it trying to get a little extra out of it. And I just didn't feel like I had to do this with that. It was reaching areas easily that I wanted to get to. How much is that? 60, 70 yards probably? And it's gonna vary depending on the bait you're throwing, of course, and the weight of it and the rod and all that kind of stuff. Spool tensioner, for those that care, is not a clicker style. The reel didn't feel necessarily really smooth when I first opened it up out of the package. But what I can say is when I got the line on it, got my bait on it, put it to the real life test of fishing it, everything came to life and was all and more than I expected. Quite honestly, this compared to my Shimano Tranx makes the Tranx feel like a piece of junk, to be honest with you. I'm not saying a whole lot in my mind because I was never really impressed with the Tranx anyway. But here, we'll give you another look. It's a really good looking reel, kind of more to the norm of the Shimano look as far as color, except we've got the Scorpion MD there, and then on the spool tensioner, there's also a Scorpion on the cap. The reel paddles When I saw the specs on the handle, I believe it was 90 millimeter, I thought, man, that's going to be too small. But as I fished it with the paddle, these are maybe a little oversized. They're very, very comfortable. I just like the way it feels and fishes. Very, very happy with the purchase. And here's the biggest thing. I told you I just ordered 2 more. $160 a piece. Buying out of Japan. I honestly think this is the best buy in swim bait reels going at this point in time. I don't even, for guys throwing the Calcuttas, I'm really hard pressed to say they're better. Gear ratios are different with those. If you don't mind the big bulky reel, hey, nobody's gonna dispute the quality of the Calcutta reels. For me, this fits the bill for what I wanted. It fits the bill, and then actually goes beyond. I mean, for a $160 reel, I would honestly tell you double that would be a fair price. I probably wouldn't have bought it at that because I bought it because I thought it was relatively inexpensive and it was worth a try. And man, I've been more than happy with it. I will dial in the dial here a little more as I throw different baits, and depending on conditions outside, if I'm throwing into the wind, with the wind, whatever it might be. So I do expect to see further casting out of it. Now, outside of that, I really haven't done a whole lot. I added a drop of oil to the worm gear here, spooled it up, and went out and fished it. Tossed some different baits on it to try out the castability. For a guy who was a Daiwa guy, who's been buying a lot of Shimanos lately, this 201 Shimano Scorpion MD, I don't think you can go wrong. If you're throwing glide baits, or not even glide baits, just bigger baits. It could be some of the bigger top waters that are out now. Now they've got the 40-foot diving crankbait that's like 8 inches long. Hey, that might toss this might toss that pretty well. It's worth a shot, folks. If you're looking for a traditional style reel that's not too bulky, and I have some Tatula 300s and that kind of thing, that reel feels so big compared to this. I mean, this is essentially, it's just a tad bigger or the same as a normal typical size bait casting reel, okay? It's just designed and built to throw bigger bait. It gets a big thumbs up from the average angler. If you like this kind of content, hit that like button down below. If you're not a subscriber, we'd love to have you join the community here. Sean the Average Angler, thanks for watching. See you on the next one.